While we're out here in California for a couple of days, we got a chance to check in with some of our favorite companies, like Sempra, the fabulous growth utility with a huge natural gas kicker that includes both pipelines and liquefied natural gas export terminal in Louisiana, more in the works. While Sempra's been putting up a series of solid results, stock's currently down 5% year to date, in large part because of natural gas prices. They're not good, but you know what? That's a mistake. The company set up so that current natural gas prices mean nothing to the bottom line. Sempra's got best-in-class utility assets focused on two great markets, California and Texas. Plus, regardless of seasonal swings in natural gas, I'm convinced the use of liquefied natural gas is unstoppable. Europeans did it just too badly. Doesn't hurt the Sempra pays you to wait with a 3.2% yield. Don't take it from me. Let's dig deeper with Jeffrey Martin. He's the chairman and CEO of Sempra. Learn more. Mr. Martin, welcome back to Mad Money.
And good to see you, and welcome to California, Jim.
Oh, thank you, Jeffrey. Now, there's something that I think people don't understand. There is such a thing as a growth utility, and that's you.
Well, I'll tell you, we've had this conversation before, but several years ago, we took steps to improve our capital discipline and simplify our business model, which is always the right answer. And that's allowed us to return $5 billion to our shareholders over the last 3 years. And at the same time, we've been able to grow our EPS at a 10% clip. So we've got a brand new $40 billion capital program today. It's going to call for us to grow our utilities at a 9% rate. And we continue to think when you put that together with a 3.25% dividend yield, it's a very compelling growth and income story.
Now, if you have a $40 billion five-year project, you're going to have to borrow money. Just tell me, what's it like to borrow money in a crazy market where the Treasury doesn't know what it's doing in terms of what they can pay and what they can't?
Yeah, well, it always starts with making sure you're financing things as efficiently as possible for your owners. It starts with maximizing your operating cash flows. And then for big projects, we like to source debt and equity at the project level. But our goal long term is to continue to grow the business, source capital efficiency, and make sure that we're returning a steady dividend to our owners.
You know, a lot of people have these long ESG reports, and I read them, and I know that they're just trying to make me feel like they're convinced that they're clean. You have this delivering energy with a purpose document. I read every inch of it. You got rid of coal. You've been decarbonizing for years. You're about climate risk built into the strategy. This is not the way most people think.
Well, I'll tell you, we made a decision about 5 years ago that we wanted to focus on infrastructure, not the commodity side of the business. And this has allowed us to create more recurring income and at the same time be a leader in ESG. And what we're trying to do is help America decarbonize our grid at home, and through the use of LNG, help make sure that in foreign countries, as they adopt renewables and clean energy, they can use complementary fuels like natural gas to help them decarbonize more quickly.
All right, now how come you, among the old executives I talked to, are the only one that has a good relationship with Mexico? I'm not kidding. You're $10 billion worth of infrastructure, and it seems to be just doing great for you.
Yeah, well, it all goes back to this idea that we've been investing down there for close to 3 decades, principally in energy infrastructure. It's a consumer market with 130 million consumers and one of the fastest growing markets in the Western Hemisphere. I think in part our success has been our ability to partner with the government around their priorities. That country is short energy infrastructure and will continue to make investments as needed to support their success.
All right, so how does Jeffrey Martin deal with the fact that you've got Texas, which is a tough market and it is a carbon market, and California, which is an anti-carbon market, under one roof? How do you do it?
Well, remember, we're not focused as much on the commodity. I think it's the fact that we're infrastructure focused. So in Texas, we've just launched a brand new $19 billion program, and our investment there is a wires company only. So whether renewables are taking market share or natural gas is taking market share, we're going to continue to expand the grid to allow new sources of energy to come on board and make sure we're supporting a growing economy in Texas.
Well, that's why this fixation on the price of natural gas in your company is just wrong, right?
Absolutely. I think that's right.
Okay, now, I need you to talk to me about hydrogen, because you're the only person that seems to have embraced it seriously that I know.
Well, I think there's a foot race today about people who can basically innovate and bring new technology to our sector. Hydrogen's got a big role to play. Europe is ahead of us currently.
Yes, they are.
The Japanese are ahead of us as well. I think it's very interesting. The Biden administration has put forward not only the infrastructure bill several years ago that dedicates $9 billion to hydrogen hubs. We're an applicant with the state of California to bring a hydrogen hub here to Los Angeles, and the most recent IRA bill, which also subsidizes hydrogen. So what you're going to expect to see is hydrogen will become an important feedstock for for industry and heavy-duty transportation. We think it's going to be a very important fuel source for our country.
I don't want to diminish what you just talked about. Let's talk about something real. Memorial Day is right around the corner. You're a veteran. You're a West Point grad. How has it impacted your professional life and your leadership style?
Yeah. I would start by saying Memorial Day really is our country's tribute to the men and women that made the ultimate sacrifice in the U.S. Armed Forces. I look back on my time in the service, and I'm obviously very proud to have served. You have to remember, this is an all-volunteer force, Jim. And we got about 1.2 million men and women in uniform today. And I think I'm just grateful for their service, and I'm grateful to have had that opportunity. If there's one key takeaway I'd share with you is most people focus on the discipline, learning to have teamwork, taking responsibility. But to me, it was really all about this idea that you could serve something greater than yourself. So I was a much younger man at that time, but I feel really good about having the opportunity to work with people from diverse backgrounds, men and women, different faiths and different creeds. They all had one purpose. They loved their country, and they wanted to make sure that they took the time to serve.
Well, I want to take the time out to thank you. You've been
nice
a remarkable steward and a great leader. And by the way, not partisan, not this or that, not wanting a deal in favoring one side or the other, but just favoring the country. Jeff Martin, you are my hero.
Thank you very much, Jeff. I appreciate it.
Jeff is the chairman and CEO of Sempra SRE, which we've been recommending like mad and are going to be right on. Mad Money's back in for the break.